Boudica's Uprising, Truth versus Myth in 60 seconds. Have you ever heard the legendary tale of Boudica, the fierce queen who led a rebellion against the Roman Empire? Well, today we are going to separate fact from fiction and uncover the real story behind Boudica's Uprising in just 60 seconds. So let's dive in and discover the truth. Boudica, also known as Boudica or Boudica, was the queen of the Iceni tribe, a powerful group of people living in what is now eastern England during the 1st century AD. According to the accounts of Roman historians, Boudica's story began with tragedy. When her husband, Prasutagus, died around 60 AD, he left the entire kingdom to his wife and the daughters to be shared equally with the Roman Empire. However, upon his death, the Roman governor of Britannia, Catus violated the agreement and confiscated the entire estate, mistreated Boudica and her daughters. Outraged by this injustice, Boudica rallied her people and neighboring tribes across Britain in a massive revolt against Roman rule. What sets Boudica apart in history is that she successfully challenged the might of the Roman military machine. Unlike many other rebellions, Boudica's uprising was not easily crushed. It posed a serious threat to Roman authority in Britain. Historical records tell us that she led her forces to victory in battle after battle, inflicting heavy losses on the Romans. Her name became synonymous with courage, resistance, and the fight for freedom. But ultimately, despite her valiant efforts, the rebellion was crushed by the Roman army. According to historical accounts, Boudica took her own life rather than surrender to her Roman captors. Now, while these accounts have cemented her legacy as a symbol of resistance, they have also created a lot of confusion. As with many historical figures, there is a blend of truth and myth surrounding the story of Boudica. Historians have long debated the accuracy of these accounts, questioning how much of Boudica's story is based on facts and how much was embellished or fabricated by Roman historians. It is important to note that the primary sources we have for Boudica's story come from Roman historians like Tacitus and Cassius Dio. These accounts were written decades, if not centuries, after the events took place, and it's important to approach them with a critical eye. One of the biggest challenges in separating fact from fiction is that the Romans had a vested interest in portraying Boudica and her rebellion in a certain light. Their stories often paint the Romans as the victims and Boudica as a savage and uncivilized rebel. This portrayal served to justify Roman actions and downplay any wrongdoing on their part. So it's crucial to consider the biases of these sources and the motivations behind their narratives. Furthermore, it's essential to recognize that history is rarely black and white. Boudica was not a saintly figure, and neither were the Romans. While the Romans were undoubtedly capable of great things, they were also responsible for terrible atrocities. Similarly, Boudica and her followers were not inherently evil. They were ordinary people fighting for their land, their culture, and their very survival against a powerful occupying force. Despite the challenges in separating fact from fiction, historians have made significant progress in shedding light on the real Boudica through archaeological evidence, linguistic analysis, and comparative mythology. Scholars have pieced together a more nuanced and accurate portrayal of Boudica and her time. Archaeology has provided valuable insights into the culture and daily life of the Iceni and other British tribes during the period of Boudica's uprising. By excavating sites and analyzing artifacts, archaeologists have reconstructed a picture of a complex society with rich traditions and customs. This archaeological evidence helps us understand the context in which Boudica lived and the forces that may have contributed to the uprising. Linguistic analysis, on the other hand, has shed light on the identity and origins of Boudica and her people. Scholars have examined the names and titles used by the British tribes, including the Iceni, to gain a deeper understanding of their cultural practices and beliefs. Comparative mythology has also played a vital role in separating fact from fiction. By comparing the legends and stories associated with Boudica to those of other cultures and historical figures, scholars have been able to identify elements that may have been borrowed exaggerated or fabricated over time. This comparative approach allows us to better understand the cultural influences that shape the Boudica narrative. So what do we know about Boudica? While much of her story remains shrouded in mystery and legend, several key details have emerged through historical research. First, her name. Boudica is a name that echoes through history, but it's important to note that we don't know exactly how to pronounce it. The most common pronunciation is Boudica, but there is no definitive guide on the correct pronunciation of her name, so feel free to pronounce it however you like. The truth is, we want everyone to feel comfortable honoring the legacy of this amazing woman. Her appearance is another intriguing aspect of Boudica's story. Sadly, we don't have any surviving portraits or descriptions of what she looked like. The famous statue depicting her with a crown and scepter is a modern interpretation. Historians can only speculate about her appearance based on the limited information available. Some believe she may have been of mixed Celtic and Roman descent, while others envision her as a fierce warrior adorned with traditional Celtic tattoos and braids. Ultimately, Boudica's appearance remains a mystery, adding to the enigma surrounding her persona. Boudica's family tree is another piece of the puzzle that historians are still trying to piece together. We know that she was married to Prasutagus, the king of the Iceni tribe, and that they had two daughters. However, information about her parents and early life is scarce. The famous association between Boudica and the Roman Emperor Nero is largely a product of legend and not supported by historical evidence. In fact, Nero wasn't even born until after Boudica's uprising. Separating fact from fiction in this aspect of her story has proven to be quite challenging. Finally, the location of Boudica's burial site remains unknown. Historians believe she may have been buried in the vicinity of her capital at Iceni, now known as St. Edmunds in Norfolk, England. However, no archaeological evidence of her final resting place has been uncovered. The mystery surrounding her burial adds to the allure of her story and leaves us wondering about the final chapter of her extraordinary life. Boudica's legacy extends far beyond the events of her lifetime. She has become a symbol of resistance and empowerment for people around the world who fight for justice and equality. Her story has inspired countless works of art, literature, and film, each offering a unique interpretation of her life and legacy. So what can we learn from Boudica's story? Her legacy offers several valuable lessons for us today. First and foremost, Boudica teaches us the importance of standing up for what you believe in. In the face of injustice and oppression, she dared to challenge the mighty Roman Empire and fight for the rights of her people. She inspires us to be courageous and to speak out against those who seek to exploit or harm others. Furthermore, Boudica's story highlights the significance of cultural preservation. In a time when cultures around the world were often suppressed and marginalized, Boudica and her people proudly celebrated their traditions and fought to protect them from destruction. She reminds us of the importance of cherishing and preserving our cultural heritage. Lastly, Boudica's legacy serves as a reminder of the complexities of history. By separating fact from fiction and embracing the uncertainties of the past, we gain a deeper appreciation for the struggles and triumphs of those who came before us. She encourages us to be critical thinkers and to continually seek a better understanding of history. And with that, our 60-second journey through history has come to an end. We hope you've enjoyed learning about Boudica and her uprising in just 1 minute. If you're eager to explore more fascinating historical tales, stay tuned for more updates. Thanks for joining us on this journey through time. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep seeking answers, and keep exploring the endless wonders of history.